and just rambling. And I'm going to talk about, I started Pick'em, ESPN Pick'em League. It's just Kraft macaroni. I've done macaroni eating videos before, but trying to fight off a headache here. I took the pills I take. Hot shower sometimes help. It's still there. Going to the back pretty good, but I'm able to eat. I was like, how am I going to be able to eat? Because I wanted to make this video today. I didn't put up a video Thursday, which I'm filming this Thursday. But my intent was, okay, I'm not going to put any video up on Thursday. I'll film a couple on Thursday. Of course, I get the headache on Thursday where I want to film, but I'm going to film at least another video, maybe 2 videos after this. But, yeah, the football league. I was asked about fantasy football, and then I was asked about just an ESPN like Pick'em, where you just pick the games. I had no interest in the fantasy league in football, because I did it for like 11 years. I'm not into that anymore on that front. The same thing with hockey. That's why I thought I might do a basketball one, but I'm not sure. I have the Premier League one. But then I was like, I'm not really interested in doing a Pick'em one too. But then I was like, you know what? Because I was asked about that. I was like, I don't know. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it because not everybody's going to be into the Premier League thing. So maybe if you want it, it's like kind of a compromise with myself. It's not full on fantasy, but it's something if more people are interested in that, they can do. I think there's 11 people in it right now. I have the link on my channel page, the posts, it's there. I'll put the link in this video as well. Once again, Slip Into Shadows is a league. The password is Shady with uppercase S. But that is on my channel page. Under posts, if anybody's interested. I think I have it set to 1 entry. It's not against, I was thinking about maybe putting it against the spread, but I was like, fuck it. You just pick the teams. I think you get 10 points a win. So, thanks to the person that suggested it. And same thing with the person that suggested the Premier League one as well. Maybe like next season I'd consider doing a fantasy football team thing, but I don't know. It's just I did so much fantasy football from like 07 to 2018, and it's a pretty good sound. I just got, I don't know, tired of it. I did the fantasy hockey like 5 or 6 years, and eventually, I only knew one person in that league a little bit. Like those drafts were strictly through Yahoo, and I knew one person a little bit through an ex of mine. I was doing this back in, I think I started like 2009 or something. That was a 10-team league. The football one went from 10 for 2 years, I think, then to 8 because 2 people left. Then we had another 6 people come. We were up to 14 teams for the remaining like 7 or 8 years. And those 14-team leagues are tough, man. 12 and up in leagues is tough. Just because the talent pool is much thinner. But I probably talked about this. We used to do those drafts in person. And it was such a fun part of it. Doing it. It was fun as hell. We go to a friend's house. Everybody would show up. We'd get food. It was super fun. We'd have the board up there where we'd put our pick. It was fun. But the last 3 years of it, there's a couple of reasons why. A friend of mine has died, and that took a lot out of it. I used to talk with him a lot. He was a very close friend. I took a lot, and that was 2014. We used to just take walks or whatever. We'd be hanging out. We'd talk about it. I remember we used to take bike rides with other people that were in the league, and we would just stop and chat about it. It was fun chatting about it. And him passing, his brother ended up in the league too. I played Bond with him too. He's one of the friends that I play Bond with. When I'm up there, when I was up there, I'm up there now. But that took away from him. It was nice having his brother. His brother was in the league, I think, 1 year, while his brother was still alive. And then the last like 3 years, because I was 14, so that would be, it was before the 14 draft. So it was 14, 15, 16. So still 5 years left. I would say the last like 3 years of it though, the draft became too long. It was taking too long. You know, like it moved a lot quicker, and for some reason it started to take a year. And I was always quick with my draft. I'd always have 3 people in mind before my pick. And there was one time where all 3 of them were gone, so it took me like a minute to come up with another player. But some people would take a long time. You know, like the first, in my opinion, the first like 3 rounds should go quickly because there's a ton of talent there. 14-team league, so talent's going to disappear quickly. Even the first 4 rounds. The slow rounds are like the 5 to like 9 or 10. And then it gets quicker at the end because everybody's gone. You're just grabbing people. You're usually grabbing a kicker or whatever. You know, you're moving your defense and shit. But I don't know. The draft it just lost its fun, for me at least. And then even, I remember my friend texted me. He's like, oh, you're going to be in the league again this year. I was like, you know what? Honestly, no, I'm not feeling it anymore. And then like other people, I guess, weren't interested anymore either. And it just ended there. I think some of the people in it went on to do leagues, you know, with other people or online. But it was super fun for a while. And every Sunday, or not every Sunday, but a lot of the Sundays through the year, me and another friend that were in the league, we go over to the friend's house that had the draft. And we'd watch the games and stuff. It was fun. But then I just lost interest in stuff for a couple of reasons. As stated. And the hockey one was cool. Like I said, I only knew the one person a little bit. But that was still. I can't remember. I thought I started in 09. Maybe it was like 2010 or 11 I started. But it was 5. I think I did 5 or 6 years in there. I did win it once, and I was the runner-up once. That was cool too because there's a ton of players in hockey. But same thing. I was kind of like, I don't know. I did fantasy baseball. Me and like maybe 4 or 5 other friends did back in like 93 or 90. Maybe it was 94. No, it was because 94 was the strike season. It was 94. We all drafted our players. It was in person. It was just like, I think 6 of us. And this is like my first introduction to fantasy. We did it with football briefly, like a couple of years later in the late 90s, but I don't even know if we got past a few weeks. There was more people in that one, but some of the people just were not interested in it from the get-go. I was like, why are you even bothering? But the baseball one, I remember we were keeping our stats, and then the strike came in like August. It was like, oh, that sucks. I think I might even done some basketball. And definitely baseball through ESPN. Just kind of basic shit. Baseball's a little tough in terms of, the football's good because, and same thing with soccer. Even though you have games going on throughout the week, every team's playing a game a week in the Premier League. In baseball, the games are happening almost every day. You got to change your pitchers. You got to make sure guys that are off on a day are replaced. Same thing with hockey. Basketball, the same thing. Not as much in hockey and basketball as baseball, but you have to, hockey, it's like, oh shit, there's a week or two early on when I first started, it's like, I forgot to get a couple of guys out. You have to have your lineup set every day. A guy, team's off for 2 days. You got to have replacements. You got to have your bench guys in there, whatever. With football, there's only one game a week for each team. They play on multiple days, but it's set in. But yeah, looking forward to them. Anything else? I was going to do what I've been watching. I think I mentioned I'd talk about it. I didn't. I'm just going to talk about it here. We watched a couple of movies. What was the last one we watched? Oh, Disclosure Day. Pretty good. Pretty good thriller type thing. It's an alien movie. You kind of said in there. The way they go about it's good. The whole end part, I'm not going to spoil it, but really well done. And there's a news anchor that I think is an actual anchor that did a really good job with what she had to do at the end. Pretty good movie. Emily Blunt is in there. Kurt Russell's kid's in there. His name Wyatt. That dude's name. I can't remember his fucking name. I think he played Alex Cross in the show. I think I could be completely wrong and thinking of something else. He was in The Running Man too. I think the remake or whatever that came out recently. I can't remember his fucking name. I can't remember the other main guy's name. Colin Firth is in there. There's another woman in there. I can't remember her name either. It's a pretty good kind of it's a pretty good fast-paced movie. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 or something. We watched this shark movie called The Hell's Mouth. Catherine Newton was the main person in it. It's a shark movie. Kind of sucked. They go to I forget, they're in Thailand maybe. There's like a cave system they're going to go in. They explore these caves, but there was a massive flood and a shark got into the thing through a crack opening in the cave wall. And it's a bull shark, so it can survive in fresh and salt water. I'm pretty sure the bull shark. Because from there, they got to figure out how to get out. Shark appears. This is another movie. I said to my fiance, I'm like, is this movie 3 hours long? It was dragging on so much at the end for another half an hour. It dragged on, I felt. I don't know. That's like a 5 out of 10. Then we watched this movie, Homestead. I don't remember anybody's name, the actors and actresses, except Neil McDonough. Love me some Neil McDonough. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in Ravenous back in the day. He was in the Operation Raccoon City. I believe who does he play? He's a doctor. I don't know if he's one of the actual characters from the game, but he's in that. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in Tulsa King. He's still in Tulsa King. He was in, I think he was the bad guy in the second season of Yellowstone. He's been in a ton of shit. Movies, shows, he's been around the block. But this is also a show now, and I'm going to tell you why it makes more sense as a show. It starts off, there's an attack in L.A. Bombs go off. Nuclear bombs go off. People got to escape, and they're heading towards Neil McDonough's place. It's in the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains have to span a couple of states, right? Or is it literally just in Colorado? I don't know. But a lot of people are heading there. He lives in a massive gated is a massive land with property. It's gated off. So people start heading there. You get more. You don't get enough information. I assume the show tells you more of this stuff. I assume the show takes place after this, and they continue on. But so people start heading there. There's certain people that head there are soldiers, like ex-soldiers, or they're just veterans, or they're special operators. So they go there. I think they knew who the guy was, and they go there and okay, we'll be your security and shit. So you have this thing where, and then friends are showing up. They're not taking everybody in, so people are hanging out at the gate. The wife wants to let everybody in, She's like, we need to let these people in. What the fuck are we doing? And she brings them food and stuff, and they worry about food supplies, but they have a lot of stuff grown. And then they worry about, like, the military guys are, like, more worried about other people trying to get in. You find that they say the Russians destroyed the grid, too, with a cyber attack. I don't know if this is true or it's expanded upon in the thing. The people were not Russian who set off the bombs in the beginning. But there's not a lot going on in terms of, like, action and stuff. And the one military dude's kid, spoilers here, kills a guy because he's trying to warn him, don't come onto the property. They can't really hear him. The guy who he shoots is, like, pointing his rifle because he wants to see through the scope so he has a better view. He gets shot, and then the kid has to deal with that. He's upset about it. It's a cool movie in a sense that you're getting more of, like, holy shit, like, the military guy's like, no, we need to have this more tight. We gotta not let outsiders in. And then Neil McDonough and his wife are more like, we want to grow stuff. And then she's more, especially her, she's more like, I want these people to come in. I want to let these outsiders in, strangers in. So that's what we do. Because they're religious and stuff. And like, this is what we got to do, the right thing, let these people in. There's themes in there of that. And it's a cool, like, it works more as a show because this movie, there's not a lot of action. At the end, you get some action because there's, like, a neighbor where he works with the town. Of course, like, the main bad guy is almost like the town comptroller, the town, whatever the fuck he is. He's a dick. He's like, you have all these weapons and stuff, and then he comes back later with SWAT and some stuff happens. I'm not going to spoil that, but he's like the main bad guy. It's like the local, lower level politician. You're like, of course he is. He's the politician. He's the government guy. Of course he is. But you have like a nice, like, they're trying to figure out, like, the military guy's like, we need to take over this operation. One of his buddies, and then the other guy's like, really, like, what are these people going to be? Our slaves and stuff. It's kind of cool, that kind of shit. It's cool, but it's very slow paced. So it makes sense that they turned this into a show because I even said to my fiance, I'm like, this would work better as a show, But it was still pretty good. I'd probably give that one a 7, 8 out of 10. I might check out the show. It's called Homestead, though. The shark movie was the worst of the three by far. Disclosure Day was solid, too. Like I said, I give that one a 7. Good action. It's tense. It moves. The ending's really well done, I thought. Some people kind of didn't like it. I thought it was decent. Enough. I didn't think it was, like, incredible, but... Because it's like, you probably saw this in the trailers. It's like, we can't tell the world this. They're not going to be able to handle it. The amount of I feel like most of the people would be like, oh, there's aliens? Of course there is. And they'd be like, oh, of course. I feel like most people wouldn't even be that pissed or scared. They'd be like, I knew it. But still pretty decent. Stop there, but I was able to make that last a little bit. Problem is I'm getting too many noise from that. I don't know if people enjoy or hate that noise of the kind of scraping. It's not terrible scraping. But, yeah. So watch some movies. And yeah. Like I said, if you want to join that, ESPN League, I'll put a link in here. It's also on my channel page under posts. You can click right to it. Slip into Shadows. Password is Shady with a capital S. I'll put that in the link too. I'll just say that. Or I'll just say it's on, whatever. I'll figure it out when I put this up. But yeah, just rambling there. A bit about fantasy, a bit about what I watched. And eating some macaroni and cheese. And thanks for checking this out.